Hello and welcome back to my channel. I want to just break this down and get right into it, so this is why I'm going right into it. Essentially, today's discussion is about how your memory plays through your cells and how this plays through your nervous system and how this is the link to you being able to be aware of what's in your highest expression in the present moment. It's very powerful and it's very overlooked, and it's through the nervous system, and it's through sourcing safety in your present moment through your nervous system, and then through that understanding and expanding your relationship of you of through your body, which is your physical self, and becoming aware of through your physical self and the needs of your physical self in your body, that you can start to become aware of your inner voice, your non-physical self, your memory, your potentiation, your not even just your memory, your non-physical self, and the memory it holds. That's the part that's key here. You have a non-physical self, but it holds its own memory as well. You have your physical self, your current awareness, your conscious awareness, your memory, your explicit memory. That is your explicit memory. What you have yet to experience or what you've forgotten about is otherwise coined your implicit memory. This is what we're going to be discussing in this video today in a way that is regulated through the nervous system. That is essentially everything that I essentially attempted to create, and I am so glad I finally put it all together into words. I'm happy. Like, I'm so happy. If you know where I was 3 years ago, I was just trying to understand. No, not even understand. Like, I literally was like so happy that I got introduced to this stuff. But then when I literally built a relationship the past couple of years with it, it's different, because that's why you can hear it in my voice. Like, it's different. It's a parasympathetic vibration. So essentially, I'm gonna start here. So through the inner voice, through the awareness of the mind, the inner voice, that's where we gain awareness of the mind, the awareness. It's understanding that through awareness, you're just becoming aware of different things. Potential is what I'm getting at. You're becoming aware of potential stories and the concepts. You're just expanding your awareness of your relationship to your own body, your own emotional integrity. And what I'm getting at is through the awareness of, for instance, archetypes or understanding ideas of, what I'm getting at is when you start to understand you as the mind are innately connected to spirit. You as body, mind are connected to spirit. Through the mind, through that non-physical aspect, not even through that, but through your body, your non-physical aspect, your physical self, your awareness, all of it, that is a spiritual experience because we are organic. It's understanding that the thing we are becoming aware of is just how organic we are. That we as an intellectual organic capacity have the ability to appreciate ourselves and appreciate more and see more and connect more. And it's from the ground level of memory, mind, and then from there, the expansion of that, because we're innately connected to spirit, how we allow our awareness of our relationship to our body and our mind to bridge our body and our non-physical awareness to bridge to a point that through the present moment we can start to articulate, or we're not being moved by a cycle of continuation of something we've witnessed or been emotionally gravitated towards, but then can start to move towards a different creative cycle of embodiment, expression, otherwise coined authenticity or frequency, someone feeling you. So, like, it's that whole concept broken down, and essentially want to break this down again in a different way that kind of makes sense. I have a chart. So most people understand the reality, like if they understand it through their five senses, they understand it through the dark blue, which are all the little lines. This is your nervous system, by the way. This is a chart of your nervous system. And The blue is the dark blue is your peripheral nervous system. That's your five senses. That is what connects you to the outside world, or expression or defense from the outside world. Connection or expression or defense from the outside world, or connecting with the inner world to the outer world. Hopefully, you start to get where I'm getting at with this. Your central nervous system is the memory processor. Go look it up. That's what it is. It's a memory processor. The memories that take place is in your cells. The memories go to your cells. They do not go to your brain. It's not all in your head. It's physiological. Your entire head, your nervous system, your brain is your nervous system, including your eyeballs. They are your brain and nervous system. The dark red is your central nervous system. That is what holds your awareness, you, who you are, what you've experienced, and who you have yet to be. Hopefully you can see what I'm getting at here. Your expression. It's understanding that when we start to take all this, your emotions and intellect aside, or just, the philosophy and the emotions aside, we just look at what your nervous system is meant, what it does here. When you as the awareness, that is what holds the philosophy and the emotion. But the actual, when we're talking about the muscle, what the muscles of each of your nervous system do, it's understanding that your central nervous system is what holds the potentiation of what you have yet to express. So it's understanding that, of course, it would want to have a mechanism or be pre-installed with a mechanism to protect it by any means necessary, up to the point that it starts to become intellectually aware and start to have reason. The reason that I had to say this is because from the ages of 1 to 21 to 22 to 25, till your prefrontal cortex, your frontal lobe has developed. Most people, if your frontal lobe is not developed, you're making decisions out of your amygdala. Point blank simple. Baseline. That's what I'm getting at. This is all we're getting at when we're talking about nervous system. If you are not moving out of your intellectual reasoning, moved by an emotional parasympathetic capacity, your highest favor, what you feel within you, you're making decisions based off of an amygdala charge, which is just what is a quick fix, and how does it satiate what I'm feeling right now. What I'm giving you is how to listen to what's inside of you and bridge the gap from what's inside of you slowly, and build a relationship and develop an awareness of how it's saying, and developing a relationship of a context of the language it speaks through, which is through patterns of behavior like a tree. It doesn't need words to understand. What quantifies words is your memory of language. The experience of how I'm making you feel is the parasympathetic concept that I was getting at. That's the quality that is parasympathetic in quality. And the reason that I'm parasympathetic in quality. I have to make fun of myself a little bit because I'm dogging y'all. Like, I don't know, the way I'm carrying myself, it's very, very abrasive. So I understand now from where I've been at. Let me take a little backtrack. I've always been very, very critical with myself, so it comes through when I'm communicating. So I've been implementing more kindness and care. So I'm going to implement more kindness and care when I communicate. So moving forward, when you start to see that the central nervous system doesn't move to defend or express itself, which is the connection, the peripheral nervous system, the central nervous system, the thermostat, doesn't move the peripheral to connect till it gets a directive from where? That little tiny dot, that little circle, that is called the parasympathetic nervous system. That is where the vagus nerve is. It's in the back of your neck. And the reason this is integral is because the back of your neck is what is the bridge, the X, the cross, to the right brain and the left, right brain and the left brain. And the whole reason that matters is because the right brain, or the left brain, is associated with the experience of your explicit memory, and typically is those muscles that go off there are brain waves, holds brain waves, and oftentimes the memory of you and your what you've experienced and who you've been introduced to as of yet. And it's understanding that if you function through that for extended period of time, anyone who's lived a life in a certain state of redundancy of just never wanting to change or attempting to not want to allow themselves to change, or God forbid, like resisting change when it's calling them, has seen the results of what happens. You feel like you're dying, like, because essentially you what I'm getting at is when you start to change from a like, I want to just break it down like this so that it's not as critical, but it's essentially understanding that you are totally safe in your nervous system. You are, as the awareness, in the central nervous system. It's understanding that you are oftentimes the parasympathetic is what allows the potential of what is tuned into the potential of what is located in your right brain. So if this is who you have introduced yourself to be and holds most of that memory, this will start to hold the potential of and when this starts to, like I'm saying, when these start to come in tune with each other. This, as in, this one's always mostly on. It's about getting this one on more frequently and more moving, and essentially getting the pattern recognition going off in that area. Essentially, and getting it moving, because, or like, just getting certain, all this stuff aside, it's getting those brain waves active. Okay, it's getting those brain waves active, and the only way they get active is through a certain state of calm. And what anyone knows about nervous system is what causes, I want to be able to help you guys understand this a little bit better. What causes you to feel calm? I want you guys to ask, like, look at this and ask, and I'll give you the answer. What allows you to feel calm out of these three? I want you to guess. You don't get more calm by what you see or feel or perceive with your peripheral. You don't get more calm by what the central is, because the central is what defends or expresses the potential of the awareness. It is the parasympathetic vibration that determines if you express or defend yourself. So thus, from there, then you get the idea of who you feel yourself and what you even feel yourself capable of connecting to. There's stuff that you aren't even connected to about yourself yet, and that's what I'm getting at. And I'm saying the more you tune into your parasympathetic calm vibration, the more you're able to tune into your, and essentially you're witnessing what your expression could look like, then feeling called to express it. And the reason this is integral is those desires, not from a space of innately trying to destroy or control something, but from a space of creativity and expression, sovereignty and agency and free will within yourself, from yourself. That is your soul attempting to unravel itself and allow you to witness your soul unravel yourself through your nervous system. You're re-witnessing your own memory. And I spent years and the reason I spent years protecting this information and not connecting, and literally not connecting with multiple people. I've had multiple relationships fall off just because of my relationship to this information, and it was because I would not submit this information to anyone. I just want to give them my power. And I had so many people upset. So upset. And I realized it was never them, it was the energies working through them. So, anyway, at the end of the day, that's why I move with God. And I just move with higher favor. And at the end of the day, harm to none. And we move in alignment with higher evolution, you know? And, doing our best to to promote harm reduction in our lives. Yes, best way to describe it. And yeah, and essentially, I want to really enamor you guys with the idea and concept that your body is what is innately the thing that is connecting you, is the constant throughout all of these experiences. It is the thing that's channeling. It is the thing that's allowing you to experience the memory. So give grace to your body, and it's understanding you don't get more. The reason I say all this stuff is to really heighten. You don't get more information through being more tense. You get it through releasing tension. Whenever you get tense, release tension. That's a way to bypass depression, is through expression. Another way to bypass feeling tense is through releasing it. So whenever you feel tense, instinctively, even if it's at the idea of a concept, release tension first and then listen. Then you'll hear. I'm saying with everything or anything, it gets clear. It's a muscle in your body. It's your body speaking. So it doesn't, and it's innately understanding. You have an innate spiritual connection because you have a body. If we are inorganic, if we are anything other than organic, then we would not have this capability. But it's understanding that we're probably moved by a higher nature. There is something that's organic that does want to move, that does want to grow, that does want to get better, that does want to understand itself, that does want to understand itself through experimenting and potentiating more of itself through a general sense of unity and love, and respect first and foremost, because that's a baseline one to even be able to get to connection. By the way, you have to have a certain level of respect for another individual, like just general care. And that's why you need to have and build a relationship with your nervous system. And it's understanding you cannot get certain information through hurting yourself or shaming yourself. It only makes yourself tune back into, think of it this way, it's a cycle of continuation. Are you going to go to a cycle of continuation to what you've been introduced to? Or are you going to tune into a cycle of potentiation? Your choice. And understand, whenever you go to feel called by a negative bias to repeat an old behavior or old narrative or old belief system over and over and over again that you may have got from your mother, because your belief system comes from the womb and your mitochondria comes from your mother, up until the point that you decide to do it on your own, maybe your body is autonomically putting in those belief systems for you. So maybe it's just about deciding that you as the consciousness are going to are actively, you hear them, you recognize that, and you actively start to implement and connect with and plant your conviction in your nervous system and safety in your nervous system in your current expression. Not through what you witness, not through what you've been through, but through what you decide in the present moment. And yeah, and just about expression, and just yeah. And I'm just saying, like, I'm a little bit going off track right now because I'm getting tired. I'm gonna go to sleep immediately after I press end of this video. But I'm just want to say thank you guys so much. May this have offered you some assistance. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I've been answering all the questions people are answering. It makes me really happy. I have 14 subscribers. Like, that's so cool. No, I never even thought I would get to the point of even feeling comfortable enough to share this stuff with you guys. So, whippy! Like, I'm grateful. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be able to know that other people are getting benefit, or like feel impacted in some way, or like are just around for to just. I don't know. I'm just grateful. I'm generally just grateful. So I'm gonna let myself just feel like that. I don't need to intellectualize it. I do that a lot. So yeah, I'm just grateful. Yeah. So yeah, and that's another way. So whenever you go to like overthink or anything, just be in your body. So anyway, yeah, that's it. And that's kind of the whole video. And you just do this more. You just do this more. And then, for instance, you'll get a vision, you'll listen, you'll do it. And it's about understanding when to draw back and when it's time to move forward and express. And sometimes there's a moment to draw back and listen, and sometimes a moment to move forward and express. And it's a dance, and it's never based in like repression or anything trying to make you feel something or take control over you. It's it's always towards enhancement and involvement and connection further to self. And through that, you develop a connection to the awareness of how to connect with other people. And I'm saying like you'll have baseline empathy. There's baseline empathy, but I'm saying like as you start to expand this stuff, it expands like mentally and spiritually. It's like for instance, like even on the nervous system level, if we expand memory, awareness of memory, then we expand the idea of social memory. So you start to be aware of, oh, that's how people are able to tune into other people's memory. Or for instance, the idea of your nervous system from other people's nervous system or from the world's entire ecosystem and how it has its own life force. Um, anyway, and magnetism and stuff like that. And I mean, that's a given. Everyone knows it. I think everyone, yeah. I mean, what do you think that, anyway, I'm getting tired and I think that's it. And yeah, that's essentially the video for tonight. And it's just about understanding that if you want to bridge the gap from within you, it comes from within and it's an unconscious memory. Unconscious memory is another way of saying implicit memory, which is a memory which comes through what? Your nervous system, which is a memory processor, which is means that when you have a memory of something that is potentiated. Oh, I also have to say if you ever start to get spiritual downloads and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the potentiation of what I'm able to do." I didn't know it was this possible for me. Understand that sometimes us as our human self are made aware of our spiritual potential so we can become aware of what we've done or what we are capable of doing on a spiritual level so that we could then quantify and understand that we sometimes in this 3D how we hear ourselves things are veiled here. Things are veiled here. Let me say that again. Things are veiled here. Things don't look things don't look the way they do spiritually the ways they do here. It's like Halloween Town. Like literally sometimes. Like I'm not like I'm saying in retrospect to how when we're talking on spiritual sovereignty. Like that's all I have to say. I'm not gonna say too much. Um yeah. And I find it like I'm just here to reason I'm saying all this stuff is just in retrospect to say sometimes we're here to we'll become aware of an implicit memory of our highest potential on another timeline, for instance. So we can become aware of what we're able to do from our present timeline to be able to connect to a feeling state, the feeling state that vision showed us. Do you get that? So you can be able to start to create something in alignment with that then you can start. I'm literally a key word here is feel appreciative. Feel appreciative. Say thank you or feel thank you. Feel thank you. And it comes more immediately. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Clarity, truth. And truth is something that becomes more clear through the clarity you receive, is what I have to say. It's not like, oh, it is the end all be all truth. It's like a general feeling state is the truth that we're getting, a vibration. Like that's it gets clear. And then not even just like a vibration, but like but yeah, no, I'm just saying like, I'm giving you guys like the descriptions so that when you're really tuning into it, you can understand what I'm talking about. But if this doesn't make more sense, if you want more descriptive words for this stuff, leave some comments down below. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna go to sleep for like an hour or two, or I don't know how long. Anyway, good night, goodbye, good day.